Ready, go!
Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Buhari, still the Jübril of Sudan. Buhari, still the Jübril of Sudan. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. During the height of the rumor that the current occupant of Aso Rock, Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired, had been kidnapped by a certain Jübril from Sudan, this column pointed out that there is some logic in the nonsense being peddled in some quarters. Stories do not always have to be logical to be considered reasonable. Despite its incoherence, it occasionally reveals some deeper truth about people's situations. Why no actual Jübril was impersonating Buhari, the president's Jübrilization and Sudanization demonstrated alienation. Given how estranged he was from the people he purportedly rules, the theory of an impersonator replacing Buhari is plausible. Both Jübril and Sudan were foreignization metaphors for a man who was no longer recognizable. This was a man whose limited ability to solve Nigerians' problems was exaggerated during the 2015 election campaign. The image of Buhari they marketed must have overwhelmed the man himself, because when he finally won the election, he collapsed like Humpty Dumpty. He hasn't been able to put himself back together since. Knowing how lackluster he would be in office, he forewarned of his impending failures by stating that old age would impair his performance. For a man who rose to power as a roarer, he hadn't even been sworn in before starting to squawk. So far, it appears that his problem was not so much his advancing years as it was his sociopathic nonchalance. The issues his handlers promised it faced with his Spartan approach haven't changed much. The photo of his administration that is best describes his administration is one of him in his living room, picking his teeth. The image has been meme-filled and used to mock his distance from Nigerians. Whoever released that image of Buhari to the public lacked tact. But they also provided us with a powerful visual representation of his disconnection from the realities of the people he ostensibly governs. Buhari's few interactions with Nigerians revealed both his cold indifference to people and gross disregard for their sensibilities. As an example, In July, he stated in his hometown that he would not leave any assets to his children. It sounded hypocritical for a man whose children had been educated in private schools abroad at the expense of Nigerians and had snatched several privileges that would pay them off of multiple lifetimes. Despite lacking a personal record of achievement, one of his children, Yusuf, was turbaned, Talban Daura, and appointed district head of the Kwasarawa community, despite having a motorcycle accident while overextending himself. Despite all evidence of their freeloading, Buhari imagined himself as a disciplinarian father whose children foraged their way through personal responsibilities. He reportedly lamented on Tuesday in Imo State that he had not received enough credit for his administration achievement. In terms of time and resources, this administration has done extremely well. He said, I am forced to say it because those who shouldn't be saying it aren't. I am not sure why those who should be celebrating his accomplishment are quiet because they are embarrassed by his missteps. Buhari is most likely the only one who rates himself highly. They just let him be because he is happily deluded. They see him happily picking his teeth, unconcerned about Nigerians' fate, and they feed his alienation by sending him carefully selected information about the country state. Buhari's speech in Imo was typical of a man trapped in time. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news, and please do drop by at the comment section and let's know what your view is all about.